subspace of R3 generated by these three vectors and W2 be the xz plane. We need to find the basis and dimension of W1 plus W2. So these are the vectors that are generated by W1. What we need is to get the vectors generated by W2 also, right? So it is given that W1 is generated by these three vectors and W2 is a subspace that is of the kind xz plane. So what kind of the elements present in W2? It is your xz plane. So it contains the elements of the kind x, 0, z, where xz belongs to the real numbers. And now to get the vectors generated by W2 subspace. For that, let's take an element from W2. So let x, 0, z belongs to W2. Then this element can be written as x, 0, 0 plus 0, 0, z. When you add these two, you get this vector back, which can be further written as x into 1, 0, 0 plus z into 0, 0, 1. So that means this element x0z is a linear combination of 1, 0, 0 and 0, 0, 1. Right? Okay. But x0z was arbitrary. We can take any element from W2 and that element can be represented as a linear combination of these two vectors. So therefore every element of W2 is a linear combination of 1, 0, 0 and 0, 0, 1. And when every element of W2 is a linear combination of 1, 0, 0 and 0, 0, 1, this means that these two vectors are generated by W2 subspace. So let's write this. But x0z was arbitrary. Therefore, every element of W2 is a linear combination of 1, 0, 0 and 0, 0, 1. Thus, W2 is generated by these two vectors and W1 is given to us, it is generated by -1, 2, 1, 2, 0, 1 and -8, 4, -1. So therefore, the sum of the subspaces is generated by all these five vectors. Let's write these vectors in a matrix form now. We need to transform this matrix in an echelon form, right? So first step for that is to make this element 1. I need 1 in place of -1 and I am having this 1 in the 4th row. So let me interchange the first row and the 4th row. So the row operation is interchanging the first row and the 4th row. To make this element to be the leading element, I need to make all these elements to be 0. So to get 0 in place of 2, I need to apply an operation. Just multiply the row 1 with -2 and add its elements to the second row. So applying the row operation, I need to change the row 2 and adding its elements to the row 1, but row 1 should be first multiplied with -2 so that I can get 0 in place of 2. And now to get 0 in place of -8, for that just multiply the row 1 with 8 and adding its elements to the row 3rd. So changing the row 3 and adding its elements to the row 1, but row 1 should be first multiplied with 8. And now making -1 to be 0. For that, just multiply the row 1 with 1 only and adding its elements to the row 4. So I need to change the row 4 and adding its elements to the row 1, but row 1 should be first multiplied with -1. So I'm getting all the entries to be 0 below this entry 1, right, for the first column. So 1 becomes the leading element now. For the beautiful echelon form, I need for the second row here to be the leading entry as 1, right? For that, let me interchange the row 4 with the row 2. So interchanging the row 2 and the row 4, I need to get 1 in place of 2, right? For that, I can multiply this row 2 with 1/2, right, to get 1. But in that case, I get fraction as 1/2 in place of 1. And I need to avoid this fraction. So we will multiply the row 2 with 1/2 later on. But before that, let's make this entry to be 0 first. So for that, just multiply the row 2 with -2 and adding its elements to the row 3. We will change this to 1 later on. -3 is the leading entry. I need to make this as 1. For that, just multiply the third row with -1/3. So changing the row 3 and multiplying this with -1/3, we get 0, 0, 1 and then 0, 0, 1 and 0, 0, 1. To make this to be the leading element for the third row, I need to make these two elements to be 0. To get 0 in place of 1, just multiplying the row 3 with -1 and adding its elements to the row 4. Always remember, make use of the row which is having the leading entry, right? Always make use of that row. Changing the row 4 and adding its elements to the row 3, but row 3 should be first multiplied with -1. So I'm getting 0, 0, 0 and the last row is 0, 0, 1. Again, to make this to be as 0, the same operation, multiplying the row 3 with -1 and adding its elements to the row 5. So row 5 needs to be changed and adding its elements to the row 3, but row 3 should be first multiplied with -1. So I'm getting 0 over here also for the row 5. To get the beautiful echelon form, let me make this entry also to be 0. For that, just multiply the row 3 with -1 and adding its elements to the row 2. Simple. Provided the leading elements of the rows should not be changed. Leading element for the first row is 1. Leading element for the second row is 2. But it is required to make this as 1 first, right? That we will make in the next step. And the leading element for the third row is 1. Okay, applying the operation now, I am changing the row 2 and adding its elements to the row 3, but row 3 should be first multiplied with -1. And now finally, I can get 1 over here very easily if I multiply the second row with 1/2. As already I am having 0 over here, so there will be no fraction in this row. So next operation is multiplying the row 2 with 1/2. Writing the first row as it is. For the second row, we get 0, 1, 0. And then we are having 0, 0, 1 and 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And now this matrix is in echelon form. After getting the matrix in an echelon form, let's write the bases now. I'm having 3 non-zero rows over here. So writing the bases 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0 and 0, 0, 1. So these are the bases for some of the subspaces. And now finding the dimension of W1 plus W2. Alright. How many elements are present in the bases? 3. So the dimension of some of the subspaces is 3. Alright, thank you.